This podcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Not you. If you're listening to this, there's no easy way to tell you this. I've broken into your home. I took some DNA. I made a clone of you. And I'm gonna keep creating more clones. That's the only way I can expand my audience. An evil-looking mad scientist told me that. I don't know why he's my agent. He has a good rate. He just skims a cool 90% off the top, but he's using it to help me make more clones. So, world's pretty good, huh? You might say, hey, have you been living under a rock? And I'll say, yeah, I have been. That doesn't mean there isn't news that's happening under the rock that you don't know about. You don't know what the ants are up to. You're not monitoring the worm situation. It's just a tough world out there, but you know, we're all doing really well. Sorry, I was talking to the worms and the ants. Anyway, I heard they recently flipped the food pyramid upside down or something. What did they do? They didn't really do anything, right? They're just like, meat's over here now. And everyone's like, great, we'll continue living our lives as we always have. And then RFK is put back in his cryogenic tube for another month, and then he comes out and says something else. It's really unfortunate. And this is for a Kennedy. I am using a Kennedyan baseline of bad luck to say that's a rough life. I think RFK maybe broke whatever that curse was. Like, he was supposed to be killed at one point. Like, he jumped out of the Final Destination sequence, but he's still being punished by God for having done that. And now he is who he is. He seems like one of the more benign cabinet members, only benign in the sense that I think he actually does think he's helping people and doing a good job. Whereas there are people in there who are like pyromaniacs, but for democracy. Like, Stephen Miller is in a completely different atmosphere, I think, from RFK. I don't even think they can see each other. I think they're in completely different dimensions. Anyway, I think they added candy canes and peppermint bark to the food pyramid. I've decided, you know, after this Christmas, I'm declaring I no longer want to go through the experience of digesting food. I would like to, I don't know, pay someone else to do it for me somehow. Maybe we can quantum entangle our stomachs. I know you have to, like, get to know somebody first. You don't just walk up to someone on the street and say, do you want to quantum entangle stomachs? Because they would call the police. Now, I'm getting a call on the Purgatory Podcast phone line. Even though I didn't pay the bill for last month, I did it on purpose so that people would stop calling the Purgatory Podcast phone line. I just want to talk to myself. Hello? Oh, this is Dr. Deathface, my agent. How's the cloning going? Okay. Just get it out of your system, I guess. I know you like to do the evil laugh. Look, if I was evil, I would be doing the evil laugh all the time, but I'm not. I can't do it.
Well, why don't you try it?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but was that a hamster sneezing? By the way, you can mention I'm also a scientist. You don't just have to harp on the evil part.
Yes, no, yeah, you got your PhD at what,
UC Berkeley. For, linguistics, but with a concentration in evil linguistics.
I was hoping we could get back to my original question. How is that, cloning going?
Look, I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but, they really like each other a lot, I'll just say.
What's that?
You know, they're interested in each other in a lot of really direct ways.
Oh, no, that's really bad. Or is it?
Well, I'm evil, so you can't console me for, like, ethical dilemmas. You gotta figure this out on your own. You know, my answer's always gonna be evil. It's like that bumper sticker I bought. It says, be gay, do crimes. I'm not gay, but I couldn't find one that just said do crimes, so...
Hey, what kind of car do you drive?
Well, the frame is just, it's a Toyota Tacoma, but I outfitted it with evil science stuff.
Okay.
What?
What's the problem? Yeah, Toyota's that's a good car.
It's not a Toyota Tacoma. It has shit on it. It makes it a different car when you put shit on it.
All right, it's an evil science man car. By the way, you don't have any work for me, right?
I don't even know what you do, man.
After a while, it stops sounding evil. It just starts sounding like a Muppet.
What's your opinion on parking lots?
Love them, but I also love Paradise, so I'm torn. That's why I could never listen to that song. I'm so conflicted about this.
Well, how would you like being an attendant in one?
A parking lot attendant?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. All right, well, I'll be around soon to pick up the latest batch of clones you got. You'll have to deal with their behavior in the meantime. I'm sorry you're going through this. I feel like I'm somehow responsible.
No, I'm the evil scientist. This isn't totally on me.
All right, thank you, Dr. Deathface. I really got to move on. I forgive Dr. Deathface as I forgive everyone who's ever wronged me. Because it's the right thing to do, and now more than ever, we have to start asking ourselves not what is the right thing to do, but what does it even mean to do the right thing? And deep down, you know what the good choices are. If you're a chronically miserable person, it's probably an indication that you made some of the bad ones. Not that that's the only reason one would be miserable, but because you might be acting against your true nature that you can resist, but every form of resistance has to transfer that energy to something, so it transfers it to you. And because it's resistance, it feels bad. That's what that energy takes the form of. It sends feel bad vibes. Look, not all of us are scientists. We're not all Dr. Deathface. Unless his own personal mass cloning experiment succeeds, in which case we all will be him, because we will all have been replaced by his clone army. But I'm not that worried about that. He said there was only a 90% chance that it would succeed, so... And as he told me before, 90% is actually a low number, so it probably won't even happen. He kind of sucks. I think I gotta cut him loose at some point. Speaking of people who should be cut loose and just let off the leash into the woods in the middle of a cold winter's night to fend for themselves, the host of Time Check, Slurp on Lipstick, is waiting in the wings. That's what he calls Buffalo Wild Wings, where he eats 10 pounds of chicken right before every time check. He says he can't do time check unless he mixes all the dips and sauces they have, and then he drinks it like a smoothie. And the smell of his breath is considered biohazard, and the inside of his soul is a cold, dark place as a result of it. Give it up for Time Check. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome to Time Check. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to look at the clock. I'm going to tell you what time it is. You're going to listen. You're going to say, okay, that's cool. Thank you. We like you. Slurp on Lipstick. Say those exact words. You will not leave comments saying, why is there a segment where a guy checks the time? It's a podcast. What purpose does that serve? Here's the facts. Time Check is among the top podcast segments of 2025. It's among them. Now you're asking top how many? You know, is it top 10, top 50, top 500, top 5,000, top 10,000, maybe top 50,000? You might even go on to say top 100,000, top 500,000. Then you keep saying like, oh, are you seriously telling me you're in the top 1 million podcasts? And I would give you a look suggesting a little more. That's all I have to say. Other than the rest of the stuff I have to say. I'm sorry, my homunculus is texting me. My homunculus is a creature I created using alchemy and weird spells I found on a website with a black background and purple text. It was in Comic Sans, so I didn't think this shit was actually going to work. But anyway, he's become this kind of mentor for all these clones that have been recently created, he says. And he's like giving them counseling, like, here's what it's like to be an abomination. I've gone through these emotions, I can help you, just contact me anytime. It's really cool of him, because up until this point, the nicest thing he's ever done for anybody is like deciding not to start a fight with a mouse, because he's about the size of a mouse and he keeps saying he could take one. And I'm like, dude, you don't have any combat experience or anything. So he's constantly rummaging around in my walls trying to find mice. I'm like, dude, you're not going to find any in there. They all died of COVID. So, I mean, and this is somebody who wants to mentor people. Oh, that reminds me. I need to remind my homunculus to assault the driveway. Let me give him a quick call.
Me.
Hey, man, what's up? Yeah, no, I never heard the theory that Kenan and Kel is actually an allegory for the Book of Revelations. No, I'm not gonna watch a 5-hour YouTube video about it, homunculus. It's fake, obviously. Can you salt the driveway? Because it was really slippery when I went out. Oh my god, dude, stop hanging out in the wall. You always get lost and you call me and then you bang on the wall. And you're like, can you hear me? I'm here. I'm like, you're so small, it doesn't sound like anything. You're not cut out to fight mice. You don't know what these people are capable of. They live in our walls because they hate us. And it just so happens that the time is 6:55 p.m. I don't know, is the new Bachelor episode on at 7? By the way, the DVR is full of Bachelor episodes. I can't record any of the shows I want to watch. But there's so many episodes on there. It's like, how many did they make? It's like the Library of Alexandria of The Bachelor. And I hope it meets a similar fate, to be honest, because I'm still trying to catch up on Home Improvement. Look, just relax, calm your mind, close your eyes. Okay, alright, picture this. You're floating in the ocean, carefree. You're a fish. I don't know if you have a penis. You're a fish. You're just a fish. Okay, this isn't working. Look, turn around and figure out where you came from. You have 5 minutes. You can do this. Well, that's what you get. If you go after mice, yeah, they're gonna gang up on you. Look, this is what you've been training for. You can do this. Take him out, homunculus. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, they're showing you the way out. I guess you didn't have to fight them after all. I'll let you go then. Enjoy The Bachelor. You know, you still have a few minutes. We could keep talking. You and I never talk anymore. You're always in the wall. He hung up. Okay. And of course, as I am the authority on time, I can tell you with confidence that they totally botched New Year's. They were, by my calculations, by my own timekeeping, they were off by like 3.5 minutes. So they completely dropped the ball on, well, you know what I mean. I will never get the time wrong. Unless you subscribe to my OnlyFans, where I will give you the incorrect time, which I feel is the most indecent and raunchy thing. To defile time like that, it's sick, it's depraved, and it's $20 a month. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my sources tell me that was Slurp-on lipstick. My sources, of course, being the eyeballs in my head. Those are great journalistic sources, and also sources of knowing what's going on in the world. It used to be you could just look at stuff and your brain would register it, and then you'd make a judgment based off that. But there's now a third step where you do that, but then somebody tells you, actually, if you think anything is wrong with this, you hate this country. Apparently, some people fail that step of a process called experiencing reality. Somehow you can make people think they didn't see what they saw. That's amazing. I'm not saying it is, but it does feel kind of like occult-like. But it's not like doing literal spells, it's just basic psychology, I guess. They did a psychology on us. And they have to do that, because otherwise the default thing happens, which everyone is like, wait a minute, I know the difference between right and wrong. Having a moral framework dictated to you by rapists and pedophiles and thieves, turns out it doesn't work. It doesn't seem to fix the world. Oh well. Because I think if you support all this stuff, you've given up a part of yourself to this ideology. And it's kind of like a bet. It's like a wager. It's like, well, I hope this works out. The right thing won't make you put money on it. So there shouldn't be any bets involved. The only currency that matters is rightness points. And this is a new thing I'm inventing. I will personally judge whether what you do is right or wrong, and I will give you a corresponding number of rightness points based on how I feel about that. You can redeem these at, we're still working on that. We're still working on that part of it. My legs hurt. I'm sitting in a stupid way, that's why. Hard to get comfortable around here. I have to put an end to the Ottoman update segment that I've been doing, where I gave you an update on the progress I've made in getting an Ottoman. I finally got one for Christmas, and this one is kind of like fancy, and it's a little bit low. It's sort of like having a dog bed, but no dog. Here's my controversial statement about dogs. As much as I like dogs, I don't really think you should have dogs in your house. My primary argument is I don't think they want to be there. Like, most of them will run away from you forever. That's a pretty clear signal. My advice to you right now is to open your door and let your dog out. They'll be fine. I think here's what we should do. Let all the dogs and cats outside. Let them interbreed with each other. Give it thousands of years. Eventually we'll have a cat dog, as prophesied in the Nickelodeon cartoon Cat Dog. And then best of both worlds. We don't have to choose anymore. We don't have to divide ourselves up into cat and dog people. Of course, the cat dog is connected at the anus, so they're constantly pooping into each other, so there's no need to clean up. It's honestly a very elegant solution. And I think the fact that such a thing could even possibly exist is definitive proof for the existence of God. Or perhaps the exact opposite. I'm not sure. If you want to send your DNA to me, not so I can make a clone of you, but for other reasons, I'll get it tested to see if you're related to Morrissey or whatever. Who do you think he is, Genghis Khan? He's Morrissey. He's never fucked in his life. That's what all of his songs are about. Doesn't make any sense. I never really had any interest in doing 23andMe or anything like that. Just because I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with the information that I get. I assume it would reaffirm what I already know. So would I just feel, I don't know, more homesick? Like nobody really feels at home in America. This place is like the cruise ship of countries. It's like none of us are from this cruise ship. You know, America, it was a good idea. So is communism. They're actually both really brilliant ideas that ultimately failed in execution. On paper, all this shit works smooth. I should emphasize I said execution, not executions, because both did executions quite well, some quite publicly and out in the open, and in a way that's almost voyeuristic, as if they enjoy showing off how bad they can really make it for us. If it was self-evident that what they were doing was good, they wouldn't need to spend so much time convincing you that it is. I think all of this is to just bring an end to the Purgatory podcast, because it's too good, and it speaks too much truth to power, that the powers that be thought we can't stop the podcast unless we destroy the planet. And I'm not going to stop. It's totally worth it for the number of listeners, which is growing at a rate consistent with how quickly DNA can be synthesized. I think this is probably a moment born out of fundamentally a crisis of meaning. Or they tried to pull the rug out from you to convince you that the only thing that matters is money and power and status. And they constructed a value system for you, and then they took away every opportunity to obtain any of those things. And then they're like, well, now you have nothing left, you dumbass. Prepare to be subjugated, doofus. Because there's no reason to be in favor of any of this unless you are deficient in something. There's something missing. And the thing is, there's something missing in everybody. We're all trying to fill some kind of emptiness on some level. So we all try out, like, the wrong thing to do it with. This is definitely probably one of the wrongest things to find meaning in. It's just a black hole of resentment and fear and punishment it's just civilization committing suicide. These things are never sustainable long term because they just consume everything, including eventually themselves. And I put that on Polymarket. My odds are looking pretty good. I'm gonna make out like a bandit on this. How do you bet on, like, oh, if all the money goes away forever, I get $1 million? How's that gonna work? I didn't think this through. Shit, who's this? Hello?
Oh. Look, the clothes said they wanted to sing a song for you.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, hold on.
Okay. Dr. Deathface.
What?
I want you to be honest with me right now, okay?
Sure.
How many goddamn clones are there?
I'm working on a census at this point. I'm looking to buy some land and just, like, make it a sovereign nation. There are so many at this point.
That doesn't sound good. Unlike their singing ability, that sounds incredible.
Alright, well, anything they make, I get 100% of that.
Why would you get 100%? We're both in on this.
Yeah, but they learned how to sing like that while they were still with me.
Why did I sign that contract with you in blood?
You said you thought it would look cool. I didn't ask you to do that.
Well, it did look cool. Alright, big thank you to Dr. Deathface. He's also managing my will, so... Not that I plan on dying anytime soon, but that also sounds like the kind of shit somebody would say before they die unexpectedly, so... But anyway, this has been the Purgatory Podcast, and I'll see you next week.